Good morning or good evening, wherever you're at in the world, Pulsicans. How are we doing today? It's been a minute. I have been kind of like touching some grass out here in Shanghai, China. Just keeping busy as heck, being a tourist, going around the city, just checking things out. And I'm just super excited to come on today and just kind of do a quick stream, check in with you guys. I've got 3 weeks left out here, and then I'll be back to business as normal. I'll be back on the Puerto Rico island, and then I'll be streaming back at my normal time, and we'll be rocking and rolling, hopefully with the charts kind of doing the same thing. So we'll kind of see what's going on. But I wanted to do a real quick stream today and check with you guys. It's just been a minute since I've been on, so feels good to be here to connect with you guys, and super excited. So what is going on, Pulse Chain fam? Are you guys pumped? Are you guys excited? Seems to be a lot going on inside the Richard Hart community. It's very interesting. We're getting a little bit of a pump today. We'll see if that pump can sustain. Obviously, we know anytime we pump, we can get sold back down because it's not altcoin season. That's the real reason why. People think it's because we're full of JEETs. Every crypto, every ecosystem is full of JEETs. I promise you, if we are pumping and we're not in altcoin season, people are going to JEET. The difference is when you're in altcoin season, you have new money coming into the ecosystem. You have people feeling euphoric. And so there's just a different change of emotion. And that's why the charts pump. So, but real quick, guys, let's check in with the secret chart. It has been a minute since we've been over there. I'm sure you guys have been paying attention to it, though. And let's see what's going on there. Not a whole lot. Obviously, we went down and we retested that low. Let me pull it up here for you guys. We went down and retested this low here, and it looks like we're hanging out in this area. Let's put it on the candles and see what it looks like there. Yeah, so it tested this wick low down here. I am hoping we hang out here and put in market structure. That's what we need to see. We need to see a W down here against ETH to tell us that we're going to start pumping against ETH, right? We need a lower high, something like that, that would tell us that we are going to start pumping and reversing against ETH. So this is what we want to see. Otherwise, this could end up just floating sideways and even breaking down lower. So we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on this. Otherwise, against the dollar, it's looking good. Pulse is back up to 4027. Pulse X is 4020. We're back at $1.50 Inc., which is nice. We're at, decimal 00, roughly 6 on Hex, and decimal 0018. It looks like 189 on eHex. So what are you guys' thoughts on this? What do you think? It's sad to see that it came all the way back down to retest this area. If you guys are in Ethereum, this, in my opinion, I've said this before on the show, is legacy wealth buy-in area if you're in ETH. So if you got a lot of ETH and you're able to make this buy with your ETH, you are buying some of the absolute lowest. I think this chart is possibly going to go. I could be totally wrong. It could go down and make, crazy lower lows. But in my opinion, I think this is an opportunity zone. And this is with the kind of stuff that you could change your family tree if you really lean in, and also against the dollar too, right? Like against the dollar, we're still down in these super lows. I feel like, let's change it over. I definitely feel like it's going to break out of this pennant here, and I think it's going to break out to the upside. So whether it does or not, it breaks down to the downside or the upside, who knows? But I feel strongly that's going to break down to the break up to the upside. It's coming to decision time as far as this pennant is concerned, and we'll see what happens, which is kind of lining up, in my opinion, with RH and his new marketing. His new marketing plan he's got, which is really cool. I know a lot of people don't like the plan that he's doing, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I used to be a real estate investor, that was my day job. Like, we flipped houses, we did wholesaling, and we bought majority of our houses at the beginning of my real estate journey The majority of the houses we bought was from direct mail. We would send out about 50 to 60 grand a month worth of direct mail. Our postcards would cost us around, I don't know, anywhere from 20 cents to 40 cents. I can't remember exactly. And depending on the type of postcard we would send out, obviously would adjust the price. But we'd send just, thousands of these out every single month. And I was buying about 10 houses a month from that marketing effort. So direct mail does work. And he's, talking about he's going to target the ultra rich of the world and send a direct mail campaign all around the world. I think what's going to happen is he's just trying to get new eyeballs on the ecosystem before something else takes place. Maybe it's before Interpol gets, knocked down or knocked out, and then he starts streaming again, or maybe it's just some green candles, who knows. But the idea is bring in a bunch of new eyeballs into the ecosystem and then do something with the ecosystem to keep those eyeballs here and interested, right? Green candles is the best form of marketing. But if you got no one over here looking, yeah, I mean, obviously we'll get guys in crypto looking, because guys in crypto are always looking, but we want new eyeballs on the ecosystem. So I don't think it's a bad plan what he's got going on. I have no idea what it's going to cost him to do something like that. Obviously, you would have to weigh out like for us, we'd weigh out like how much we got to spend every month and how much are we going to make every month. There has to be an ROI. It has to make sense. For something like this, I don't know how tangible that will be, or how he's going to sit down and crunch those numbers um, and make it make sense. So, but I like it, and it can line up really nicely with altcoin season here if we decide to get an altcoin season. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, is what happens in life when we make mistakes, right? What happens in life when we have failures? Obviously, I've done this in crypto a few times where I've gone into coins or other ecosystems outside of RH and took some pretty big lumps on the head. And I just wanted to kind of like talk about a couple concepts that are from the book Outwitting the Devil, which is, as you guys know, one of my favorite books, favorite entrepreneur books that I've read probably, I don't know, 10 times. And one couple of the ideologies behind the book is, I'll just read them. The capacity to surmount failure without being discouraged is the chief asset of every person who attains outstanding success in any calling. I'm going to read that again. The capacity to surmount failure without being discouraged is the chief asset of every person who attains outstanding success in any calling. Think about that for a minute. To be able to take some lumps on the head, to be able to absorb that and not consider that to be a failure, to but take a step back, analyze the situation, and be like, what did I do wrong? How can I fix the problem so that it never happens again moving forward when I try to move forward, and be able to keep pushing and not let this discourage me, is what is going to get us successful, right? So even if in crypto you go venture off and maybe you get wrecked on a stupid meme coin, or maybe you get wrecked off on another ecosystem, like for example, Alti, that was a small little ecosystem that was forming in our community that failed horribly. And you can take a step back and analyze what went wrong with that project, what went wrong with you and your belief system, and why you thought it was going to do well, and analyze it, and say, okay, that completely failed, and how do I keep that from happening again? Well, for me, a lot of that is like, I need the assets that I'm bought into that have done, that I know that are not failures. I need to keep bought into those and not get shiny object syndrome. So one of the biggest mistakes I make in crypto is shiny object syndrome, and that's what I've been able to, keep in check for myself now more recently, because I know that gets me wrecked more than anything. So I encourage all you guys to do the same thing, is to just, whether it be in crypto or in life, right? With business, or maybe your family, be able to take a step back. And when something goes wrong in your life, to not go, oh, it's that person's fault, to be able to look introspective and go, okay, what is it that I can do to learn a lesson from this and prevent this from happening again and grow from the experience rather than playing the blame game and the victim and saying, oh, that person got me wrecked, or that person is a reason why I can't do X, Y, and Z. He is like a lot of people love to blame the market when their business sucks. Okay, so if the market is horrible and that is why your business is sucking, well, then you need to get better than what the market is. You need to figure out what works in this market. There's always a market for something. The market is always hungry and craving one aspect or another, products or services. What can you do to supply the market with what it needs, whether it sucks or not? And not just blame the market and play the victim mentality blame game, which is what I see a lot of other crypto influencers, KOLs, doing in this ecosystem. In fact, they, just because price is down and we haven't seen the altcoin season, they want to play the blame game and victim, and they are getting a lot of likes and clicks and follows because of this. And it's just not the way to play this game. So in my opinion, so I encourage all you guys to do that. Once again, I want to read that one more time. The capacity to surmount failure without being discouraged. That's a key right there. Without being discouraged. How many times can you fail without being discouraged? That is the key, because it is the process of being discouraged that ultimately at the end of the day makes it a failure. When you stop and quit, that is when it becomes a failure. I'll give you an example. When I started flipping houses on my third deal, this is over a decade ago. On my third deal, I lost all my life savings. I lost all my 401k money. It was around $250,000. I lost everything that I had to my name because a contractor took us to the cleaners. He absolutely rinsed us. And my partner, who at the time, he took the failure pretty bad, and he's still working in the casino industry. That's what I used to do before I was a real estate investor. He never pushed forward. It broke him, and he ended up going back into the casino, and now he's still there till to this day. Had I done the same, I would probably be in the same boat. But for me, I took that as like, okay, what lessons can I learn? How can I keep from a contractor doing this to me again? What needs to happen for me to be able to push on and make this money back? I knew the only way I was going to make that money back is by pushing on and pushing forward. It's the same in crypto. If you get wrecked on a coin, you just keep pushing on, pushing forward, and you're going to make that money back somewhere else. There's always a coin that's going to do well, or an ecosystem is going to do well. I think it's the RH ecosystem. I'll make plenty of my money back from my shiny object syndrome. But that's fine. In the meantime, I need to be more stable and more bought into this ecosystem. And that's my opinion. It's what works for me. Obviously, I'm not sure whether that works for you or not. You have to do your own inner work to see what you believe in. But anyways, I ended up continuing to do real estate, and I did really well in my real estate journey. I made millions of dollars, and that wouldn't have happened if I would have quit and let that failure discourage me. Actually, it wasn't a failure. It was just a learning lesson in my journey. And there's no difference in what we're trying to do here. So the capacity to surmount failure without being discouraged is the chief asset of every person who attains outstanding success in any calling. That is such a powerful quote. It's such a powerful concept. Think about that today and how it relates to crypto, because it does in so many ways, which is why we see so many crybabies, because they're playing the victim mentality, blaming others, and unable to, look inward and say, okay, what can I do to win and use this experience to grow? So that is my opinion. And I just wanted to share that with you guys today. 83 of you guys watching, which is cool. This is, once again, I'm streaming at a very awkward time for me, but I figured I'd get on here and stream since I haven't connected with you guys in a while. But guys, smash the likes, hit the subscribe if it's your first time here. I got 74 of you guys over on Twitter. I got 11 of you guys only on YouTube. It's probably because, most of you guys don't are not used to me streaming at this time. But let's check in with the chat real quick and see how everybody is doing. Beastwell, what's up, man? And yes, I am live from Shanghai, China, which has been an absolute blast of a trip. We got 3 more weeks here. I have just had so much fun, and we're going to the outskirts. I think it's called Hangzhou or Hangzhou. We're taking the bullet train, the fast train on the outskirts of Shanghai this weekend to a city that's popular, but that has not. It's not so. It's not so like congested of people and so that'll be a lot of fun. I'm doing that this weekend, and but yeah, we got 3 weeks left, and then we're heading back to Puerto Rico. So Murda Yoga 10p Vamos, what's up? What's up, my man? How are we doing? Thanks for showing up. Get a green candle, and everyone is out. Well, I mean, we're seeing that right now just because the way crypto is as a whole. I'm telling you, the tide will change once altcoin season is here, and once you start seeing some new money come to the ecosystem. Right now, it's still PvP. It's been PvP for years, and it's not just in the RH ecosystem, it's in every ecosystem. That's why everything is down, and nothing is pumping to the moon right now. And it's just the whole crypto space has been PvP for multiple years, and until that changes, you're always going to see cheaters push the candles back down again. Yes, I agree. Pulse chain, baby, we will win. Hey, Tantan, what is going on? It's good to see you too. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. You keep being you. Love to see all the content on Twitter. What up, Tim Top? How are we doing, my friend? How are we doing? Funkmaster Hex, what is going on? Hey, Paul Sachs, what up, man? Do you think the crypto bear market will be short next year if large macro indicators, global M2, PMI, Fed decreasing rates continue on a positive trajectory next June 2025, staying in the markets? Now, I won't be staying in the markets, man. I believe that this time is different. Is never a narrative that works out. I really do. And so I believe that, at the end of this year, sometime we'll see the Bitcoin high. I believe that altcoin season can happen, prior or post, or maybe we get 2 altcoin seasons. I would love to see that happen. But we could definitely see altcoin season maybe pushing into Q1 of 2026. That is my belief, but I do not believe even for a second that, crypto is going to keep pumping and the 4-year cycle is broken because of, certain macroeconomics that's going on. I really don't. I believe that we are going to see, in my opinion, something break in the economy, a recession of sorts, maybe in 2026, maybe in 2027. I believe that the pain that we have felt is far from over. I think we'll get a temporary relief. I think they'll start printing money. I think something will happen. And I'm already seeing it in real estate. We're seeing, real estate has made all-time new highs, and the rents are going up along with mortgage prices because of real estate prices. And there's something that's going to break there. And when real estate breaks, that is going to send a shockwave into markets. And I do believe we'll see a correction in all markets. Now, I could be totally wrong about this, and maybe the cycle is broken, maybe because there is also ETFs. We know when the gold ETF came in, what happened to that price chart. Maybe because of that, there's something that will tell us that this time is different. But until we get there and I see it with my own 2 eyes, I'm not going to believe it. And I'm already going to be probably taking a lot of profits because I have built my bags in a way where I don't need a 1,000x for legacy wealth to be able to change the trajectory of my family. I really don't. I mean, even a 20x does amazing things for me and my family. Now, obviously, I want to play the game as long as I can. And so if there are other things telling me to stay in, maybe I leave some moon bags. I don't know, but I don't ever believe that this time is different is the narrative that will come true. I don't. I believe the 4-year cycles will always stay intact as long as we're on the Ponzi dollar. As long as there's money printing, that 4-year cycle of of global liquidity index, if you will. If you guys go look at that chart, go look it up on Google, the global liquidity index. And most of you guys know what it looks like, but it's been in a 4-year pattern cycle for since the beginning of printing. Since they started printing money, we went off the gold standard. I don't believe that ever will break until the dollar breaks and we go on to a different standard. Right now, we're on the dollar standard. Once we go in maybe to a CBDC or something else to that nature, that's when I believe that global liquidity cycle will break. Now it can get pushed forward or backwards a little bit, and I believe that somewhat of this time is different, up to like maybe like 10% can stay true, but not this like, okay, we're going to run into 2027. We're never going to see a bear market again. No, I just don't believe it, man. I don't. So. And once again, I'm just a dude in the internet, guys. This is all speculation. This is never financial advice. And I could be totally wrong about all this. And so invest what you will. You push the buy and sell buttons, and I push my buy and sell buttons. If history is any kind of indicator, crypto will blow your mind. I agree with this, Tom. I believe we're going to see some absolutely parabolic altcoin seasons just because of the pain that we have felt and seen and everything going on and the way it's leading up. I believe we're going to see some money printing happen here in Q4. I could be totally wrong about that too, but I do believe we're going to see some money printing. We know inflation's under Jerome Powell's target number, which was like, I think it was 2% or 2.5%. I think inflation right now is like 1.8 or 1.9. And so like we've hit our target. The thing that I want to mention about that though is they usually don't print money until something in the economy breaks and they need to print money. When the economy is doing well, they don't see a need to inflate money until something breaks. So I don't think he's going to go and just turn on the money printer. Now he'll drop rates. Now dropping rates is completely different than what the money printer is. He will drop rates, which is bullish for crypto, but it's not as bullish as money printing. And so those are two different things. And I don't believe he's going to money print into something else that is going to break. And I believe it could be real estate. I do. I mean, there's a lot of indicators going showing us that real estate is not. It's the future is not looking good right now. So we'll see what happens, and that could turn the money printer on. But we'll see, man. Full agree. 10 top Corey is selling Q4 this year. Yeah, last he talked about it. I will be selling sometime in Q4, or maybe, like I said, if altcoin season pushes off into Q1 of 2026, somewhere in there. So I mean, we'll just have to see how that plays out, and where the Bitcoin top ends up being placed. Because with it, we do have. I know there's been times where we saw altcoin season happen after the Bitcoin top, and so I want to make sure that I'm able to capitalize on that if it happens. But this time is different, man. I don't ever buy it, man. I never do. Do you ever see ETH hitting all-time high second half this year? Yeah, I do believe so, William. I believe when altcoin season happens, we see ETH hit an all-time new high. I mean, and what is the all-time high, man? It's like 5K, right? 5K was from last cycle. It's not even this cycle. All-time high of this cycle, as most of us know, is around 4K. And so going past 5K is not going to be a problem for ETH in altcoin season, in my opinion. Once again, not financial advice. I could be totally wrong. I mean, we could probably easily see between anywhere from a $10,000 to a $17,000 ETH. That is my prediction. But once again, what do I know? But I do think the volatility will lessen up as market cap grows and institutional money stabilize. Yeah, I agree with that too. But mainly in the big dogs, right? Like Bitcoin and Ethereum, where the market caps are in the trillions, like in Bitcoin, right? So last time we saw, a 70, I don't know, it was like 72%, 74% dip on Bitcoin in the bear market, which that was a dampened volatility because the early days of Bitcoin, it would drop 90 something percent in the bear market, right? So maybe this time we see like a 60 to 40% dip. I don't know. It's not going to be completely erased though. I think the big guys, the institutions are going to make the bear market. I think when they see things breaking in the economy, they're going to be the first ones to push the sell button, and that will create the Bitcoin bear. So once again, who knows? Brazology might know though. The inflation rates are too low right now, so I think they'll cut rates in order to inspire banks to if inflate the U.S. dollar and force to eat $35 cheeseburgers. I tell you, man, it is crazy how when you go visit different economies of the world, like I'll give you an example. Like Shanghai here is a powerhouse economy, man. These guys here, it is futuristic. Uh, I mean, it is amazing the things I see here. They're a cashless economy. They're it is like living in the future. But like every time I go out to eat, like I could feed my family out here at a restaurant for like $12. It is wild. For $12 I can feed my family here because I don't know, it's just the way the dollar transfers over to the UN, but also, I just don't think they've inflated the economy the way the US has. I mean, in Puerto Rico, man, for me to go and take my family out, it's like $150. And even in Arizona, if I'm taking my family out, to dinner, and I'm gonna spend between $80 to $100. I'm here. I can't believe like last night I spent like $12. I was like, where can we go next? This is too cheap. Can we let's go buy some ice cream? Screw it. I don't want ice cream really, but let's go buy it because everything's so cheap. But I think Brizology's on a little bit here. Yeah, remember when they cut rates, that's not the same as them inflating the dollar. But I think rate cuts will happen. Hopefully, I know they have another FMLC meeting this month. I'm not sure if that's going to happen this month. I know the poly market, whatever it is saying that it's not going to happen, that they're going to just keep it the same, that it won't happen until September. We'll see. We'll see. Oliver, what is going on, my friend? How are you doing? I am with number 3 fan, Corey. Number 3 fan, bro. What happened to number 1? Anything beyond number 1 is you're number 2. If you're number 2, you're the number 1 loser. If you're number 3, that means you're the number 2 loser. That means you lose twice, bro. Sheesh. That means you're losing twice. Are we done with buying the freaking dip for years, dude? I have no liquidity right now to buy the dip and just holding, dude. I'm just holding. I don't have any liquidity. Our business took a bit of a dip, and so we're doing a lot there to recover and get things stabilized over there. And I'm just holding, man. And it seems that prices have been in this range. I mean, honestly, man, they're obviously they're a little bit on the lower side right now, but we've still been in this range for the last like year and a half, right? I mean, the low before was 4032. I mean, the low right now we're in right now is 4027. At one point, we hit down. I think it was 4018 was the absolute bottom. I hope that stays the bottom, but who knows what happens, right? I mean, World War III could break out again any moment, right? Like, there's always something to create FUD for one day. But we've been in this range for a long time, and I've had plenty of. I've been able to DCA a lot down in these ranges. I just don't have any money right now to DCA these ranges. So yeah, we've been holding here. I think, man, we're looking for altcoin season. Not only that is, a lot of things that we know that RH is doing is lining up with altcoin season. I think this marketing push and whatever he's got planned is going to line up perfectly with altcoin season, which, man, just shows that we're just all in the matrix here and everything just lines up with these 4-year cycles. And there's nothing that happens by chance. All this stuff is just, we're in a movie. We just got to play our part and lean in, and we'll get rewarded for doing so. That's it. That's it. Bitcoin moves thousands of dollars in each direction every day, soon equal to. I hope you are correct, sir. I have a nice bag of ink. That is for sure. It's not my biggest bag, but it's a nice one. And so please make that happen, Brizology. Make a video, bro, on how to take profits. I mean, it's not that difficult, right? You got 2 different ways to take profits. One, you liquidity provide your way out. So like when you're entering altcoin season and you're believing like, okay, things are pumping. Maybe we're up at 10x, maybe we're up at 5x. And you're like, okay, this is looking good. I would like to take some profits in, I don't know, maybe it's a 20x, right? You would set a single sided liquidity position up in that range. And you would take, as things are pumping into your range, you're making fees, you're selling, you just got to make sure you go in there and close out that single sided liquidity position to collect your money. The second way is just DCA your way out. You're not going to be able to time the top. That's the thing, right? We're not going to want to know where the top's at. And to the conversation earlier, you're going to want to leave a moon bag or a piece going into 2026 probably, because we don't know where the cycle is going to top out or how long altcoin season is going to push forward. So you just dollar cost average your way out. So when you see things start to move and you're starting to get some price action, you start maybe it's 5% a week, maybe it's 10% a week of your portfolio, right? Like, I don't know, whatever feels good to you. Maybe it's only 1%, right? So that way you're bringing in some money and you're giving some time for the charts to really do what they do. We know that altcoin season historically lasts about 100 days. It's dollar cost averaging your way out is a great way to play the market cycle. The wrong way to do it is like you get your first green, and we see this all the time now, right? When you get your first green candle, you're up a 2x and you push sell on your entire portfolio. Look, it's not the wrong. I mean, I don't want to say it's the wrong way. That's the wrong thing. I should have said that, because that might be right for you, but that's not right for me. I'm not, because I feel like you will leave a lot of gains on the table by playing playing the cycle that way. So you always want to leave some gas in the tank for the cycle to play out. So the best way is dollar cost average or liquidity provide to the top side. Make sure you have a plan. Crypto Monster, it can go quick. We wait years for a couple months of upside. Yeah, literally, and you're right, Oliver. It's a couple months, right? It's like we know historically it's around 100 days when things really start going, right? And you're not going to feel like pushing the sell button. You're going to feel like it's always going to go higher. So you're going to force yourself to dollar cost average your way out. That's what I'm going to be doing as part of my plan, and we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Like I said, the worst thing for me, my money, is like the first green candle I see, I push the sell button. That's like, I know I'd be leaving a lot of gains on the table. And even when you dollar cost average out, you leave some gains on the table, and that's fine. You want to leave some gains on the table anyways, because I'd rather had gotten out a little bit early than round trip my bags. So, and that's perfectly fine. So, but you got to sit down and figure out what's right for you. What's right for me is not what's right for you. That's for damn sure, right? I mean, Pulsicans thinks that the market cycle is going to push into 2026, and maybe he doesn't dollar cost average anything out. Maybe he ends up being right. Maybe he ends up getting the 100x or 1000x because he was willing to really take the risk and play into the this time is different narrative. I don't know, right? Back in the day, you could get a hamburger for a nickel. Yeah, they didn't even have cheeseburgers back then. Nobody had even thought about putting cheese on them yet. Man, I love a good cheeseburger though. But you're right, man. You go to Five Guys, like even in Arizona, we don't even have like, it's not like California prices, right? Brizology's right. A $35 cheeseburger is probably realistic in California, but like in Arizona, man, it's still like, if I want to go get a cheeseburger, a fry, and a soda, man, it's like almost $20 at Five Guys. That's ridiculous. William, do you believe we'll get back to sack price cycle? Yes, I do believe that. Once again, everybody is going to figure that out for themselves. So my opinion, sack price was last cycle's top. So we're going to break that last cycle high. That's basically the last, well, it actually was a little above. I think Pulse hit like 3 zeros. Well, it was like 302 or 3015. I think it was the top. That was kind of like coming out of last cycle. I know it was kind of the bear market for the rest of crypto, but we had to kind of like go through our own cycle, if you will. And so in my opinion, that sack price or right above it is last cycle top. Do I believe we're going to make an all-time new high this cycle? Yes. Yes, I do. How high? I have no effing clue. Maybe it's 403. Maybe it's 203. I would love that. Right? Or maybe it's 3 cents. I would love that too. That would be absolutely amazing. All you guys would be wealthy beyond your wildest dreams if we made it to 3 cents. At least I hope you guys would. You've had plenty of time to DCA. No, I do believe we're going to go through an all-time new high that cycle for the Pulse chain ecosystem and Hex even, right? And if Hex, we know Hex, eHex specifically, the all-time high was 55 cents, right? So, I mean, we're at, 6/10 of a penny right now. I mean, it's the buy of a lifetime. And I know people are concerned about that whale. There's a whale that has 600 million um, hex. I know he approved 300 million for the transaction to be sold. But guys, remember, he just dumped massive coins of Pulse X and Pulse, and there was enough buy pressure for the most part to keep the charts stable. Yes, we went down some, but the charts stayed pretty stable with all the millions of dollars being dumped in this low liquidity environment and low price action environment. And Pulse and Pulse X, in my opinion, held up pretty well for the millions of dollars that was being dumped. And so if he does that with Hex, you're probably going to see the same kind of price action, same kind of movement. I don't think we'll see anything massive come of it. Can we make an all-time new low from it? Yeah, sure. Sure. If you get some DCA money, that could be absolutely game changer for you. But remember, Hex's all-time low is decimal 0035, right? Somewhere in that range, 34, 35. I know because I got to buy it. I actually did buy that low. And right now we're at decimal 006. So I don't think it's going to be that catastrophic. I really don't, because it wasn't for Pulse or Pulse X, and he's out on those wallets now. So we'll see. So my opinion, once again, not financial advice, man. I'm just a dude on the internet. Dude, I could be totally wrong about everything. I just love coming on here and having fun with you guys. Litverse, pleasure to be here with you boys. Good to see William Doug. Yes, absolutely. And we got 155 of you guys now showing up. All right, let's go. Pump the algorithm, please. You got 20 of you guys on YouTube. I'd like to see more of you guys show up on YouTube. Hit the like buttons. Like I said, I know it's kind of a weird time for me to stream. It's 9:13 EST, huh? It's after dinner time there in the US. What up, Cotton Trust? How you doing, man? Here to join your cabal. Feel free to join, bro. You can start by pushing the like as many times as you possibly can. That helps the algorithm. Cotton's my boy out here in China. Actually, it's good to see you, man. And we got to meet up maybe one more time before I head back. I head back in 3 weeks. I got 3 weeks left, bro. Out here in Shanghai. Oliver Moore, Corey, you've been grinding through 4 years. I have been, man, buying every dip and staying patient. This is the longest stretch yet, and I have a feeling the next 5 months are going to be crazy. It's time. Salute. I was agree, man. It has been just brutal. I was talking about this with Dane, actually. Yes, Dane's still around. He's my business partner. Love Dane. And what we were talking, it's like it's crazy, to think if you go through this 3.5 years that we've gone through right now of pain. And I don't know if all 3.5 years was pain. If you're coming out of the bull and you made money, for some of you guys, it was not painful to come out of that cycle. You did well, right? No, some of us like me, that's how I came in and I bought the top on a lot of this stuff. And so it has been 3.5 years of extreme pain for me and my portfolio. And so to give up and call it quits, which we saw other people doing and other KOLs doing at the 11th hour before things really get moving. It's just, it amazes me how we're witnessing this in real time, where the market is shaking people out right before, in my opinion, things absolutely go parabolic. It is insane how these things play out, and how, once again, we're just in the freaking matrix, man. All this stuff is scripted, and these guys are falling for it. It's crazy. I'm just like, nope, I will finish the cycle. And I was even talking about this with in our community. Our community's like, well, how do we know when we tap out and say it's time to quit? So well, when the cycle is over, like if you want to tap out and call it quits, that could be understandable. Like, did Bitcoin make an all-time new high yet? It is today, actually, but it's not the top, right? We know even when Bitcoin tops and starts correcting, we could still have an altcoin season. Ethereum has not made an all-time new high. So in my opinion, that right there, that's your first sign the cycle's not over. It's far from over. So absolutely, you could say, okay, well, when is it time to tap out? Is well after the cycle has ended, not 5 months before, or 2 months, or 1 month before. Then we're getting some green in the charts today, right? ETH is pumping. Maybe this is the beginning of altcoin season. Who knows? I don't know, right? But this is the wrong time to tap out and capitulate. When the cycle's over, okay. So speaking of which, guys, I might as well show my stuff here. DeFi Wealth Trust. If you guys want to come in there and book a call with Chris, if you don't want to pay any taxes on this cycle, come on, dude, stop paying taxes on your crypto. Come into the DeFi Wealth Trust. It's completely free to set up, completely free to have a conversation with Chris. You get added through our community when you come into the trust. And if you don't want to utilize the trust, we obviously have our private community too that you can come into, and where we talk about more than just crypto. It's real estate, it's alternative investments, stuff like that. DM me on Twitter if you're interested in the private community. And then if you want the DeFi Wealth Trust, it's www.defiwealthtrust.com. So, all right, man. Yeah, man, it's been a brutal 3.5 years. How much expectations have lowered? Yeah, and that's the thing, man. It's everyone's got recency bias, or whatever they call that, right? They have PSTD or PSTD syndrome, right? There, when things get going, they're going to be in disbelief, and a lot of them are going to capitulate up on the way up. But then a lot of people will end up feeling so euphoric that they will end up round tripping. So there's going to be a lot of people who will capitulate early, and there's a lot of people who are going to round trip. And so where do you stand and how are you going to play the game is very important. That's why, dude, there's nothing that beats the DCA strategy, in my opinion. So like just DCA your way out, maybe it's 1% a week, maybe it's 2%, maybe 5%, whatever you feel comfortable with a week when things get moving. So, and I mean really moving, not like this 20% pump. And then, because things get sold back down, right? We want to see the entire crypto space moving and pumping. I want to see all-time new highs on ETH. We want to see, this new marketing campaign take place in Pulse Chain before you even think about, or for me, my money, before I even start thinking about DCAing my way out. 3-cent hex and man, shit, bro. I mean, if Pulse is 3 cents, it should be $3, not 3 cents, man. But hey, if that's what is going to happen, I would take it. I would be disappointed in Hex. Hex is already at 3 cents, right? This cycle, P-Hex. Like we want to see Hex at $3, man. That's what I'd want to see. I'm Task. Good evening. What's going on, brother? How you doing, dude? How are you doing? I think we see our stream later this year as a part of market. Yeah. So like, here's the thing, man. I want to talk about that too. I'm glad you brought that up. Like everyone's thinking he is going to stream because the SEC thing is done. Like, and he is in the clear here in the US, but he's not in the clear worldwide. Interpol is still after him. So I don't think we're going to see him stream until Interpol is resolved. Now, I do know they're working on getting that resolved. He has his attorneys on it as we speak to resolve that situation. How long does it take? I don't know, right? It's whatever they can come to negotiations on as far as monies are concerned. But that is not the reasoning. The SEC was not, in my opinion, the reason why he wasn't streaming. It's Interpol. So that is what I think. So I've got my fingers crossed and a tiny bit of dry powder waiting for that whale to dump. You might be able to get it, man. That'd be good. You might catch a nice, at least maybe it's a double bottom on Hex. Like, but who knows, man? It didn't affect the Pulse and Pulse X chart that much. And there could be somebody there scooping it up as it's getting sold down. I don't know. But you might get lucky, man. Would mean I would walk away with 205% away from SAC. We can get the SAC in a matter of seconds. I agree with that. It wouldn't take much, especially this low liquidity environment. Just took a cash advance on my credit card and bought 40. Oh man, you are using leverage in real life to buy crypto. Hey man, I can't advise either way. I have a lot of leverage out right now myself. Maybe my HELOC on my house. Mr. Chinks, nice bag, man. Awesome. Jeez. I hope it works out for you because I'm there with you, man. I'm there with you. NJ Dubs, hey, everyone on the brink of suicide to just only break even. Where have Moon Boys gone from when I first got in the ecosystem? Man, they'll be back when things are back to all-time new highs again. So that is my opinion. My daughter just came in the room. What's going on? Go play your car. I'm thinking of celebrating the final now the confident SEC case is in order. Let's do it, man. I'm happy for RH. I just don't think much will change in the ecosystem from it. I don't. I don't think we'll see much change into the Interpol cases resolved. Then I think everything is going to take place. I think that's when literally the gloves come off, and he's streaming again, and he's talking shit again, and he's going on interviews and debating. I think we see an old RH come back when Interpol is resolved, which would pump the shit of our bags. Yeah, I'll say hi to Dane for sure. See if I can get him on the show again when I get back in Puerto Rico. Now let's get this show on the road, fellas. I agree. We are close, man. Breaking out. Just a huge awesome about future. We're so early. Yeah, dude. Because we are almost there. We are on the brink of breaking out, right? And like we keep seeing these fake out pumps, not just in Pulsing, but like in Ethereum too. Like we keep seeing these fake outs. It's like, okay, when are one of these pumps going to hold and it's going to send altcoins to an all-time new high? I mean, he's pumping today, so we'll see. I don't know. We'll be at SAC in no time. Yes, then they'll be buying back in. I agree. That is very true. Now, SAC price, how many X's do you get from SAC price? So don't be so like, if you need SAC price to happen, well, then to me, it sounds like maybe you didn't dollar cost average in enough at these lows. And, excuse me. Shh, Papa working. But if you need SAC prices, yeah, it is, in my opinion, you definitely have not dollar cost average down in these lows. When we hit SAC price again, I'll be in profit. I'll be well in profit because I dollar cost so much down in these lows. I always say SAC price is negated. It's no longer a target price point, in my opinion. LPX will learn you're a great yield and you can DCA. Okay. This is a new protocol launching. So like a yield bearing protocol, maybe farming. I like the emit protocol. That's my favorite one right now. It has some awesome farms over there. It is just amazing that you can stake the emit token and earn real DAI, e-DAI, not Ponzi DAI rewards. So, all right. Oh, the SolidX trading bot is live now. Cool, man. I'm a big holder of SolidX. I still believe it's going to do amazing things this cycle, which is kind of funny. They're lining up their launch of the casino and everything. It looks like it's lining up right around with Richard Hart's, with Richard Hart's marketing campaign. And it looks like all these things will come to fruition right around altcoin season. Think Interpol is keeping all right? Yes. No, I think it's all Interpol, man. I do. Because Interpol, man, you got to think about it. SEC just wanted to shake him down for like $30 million. Interpol wants something stupid like $200 million, and they want to arrest him. Two different things, man. Like SEC was peanuts compared to what Interpol wants. So in my opinion, it is Interpol that is affecting him the most. So once again, I could be wrong. Do you think that's the Sleepy Wallet from 211 started making money moves? Nah, I don't think it's RH's wallet. I would like to be wrong about that. But no, I don't think it's RH's wallet. I think it's Ross Elbert's wallet is what I think. He got out of prison and he's an early Bitcoin guy. He had a crap ton of it and never had a chance to sell any because he was in prison for 11 years or 12 years. So I think all that BTC moving around is his wallet. I think I could be wrong about that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, BTC just hit all-time new high. That's going to be good. The attorneys are resolving. It's all about money, man. They're coming to negotiations on monies. It's all about money, man. You get them paid off what they want. Now, I know he's going to give them the $200 million that they want, or $180 million is what they're trying to go after. But maybe they resolve on $18 million. Maybe they resolve on $10 million. Who knows? They're going to want something. Something's better than nothing, than him just like hiding. And so they're in negotiations right now as we speak. Is it a full moon tonight? I noticed that last night. So now I meant Ross Elbert, man. He was in prison and just got out of prison. So I do believe that Ross Elbert, that's his Bitcoin that's moving around because he was locked up for 11 years. and he didn't have the opportunity to do anything with Bitcoin. Could also be Roger Ver's. Roger Ver, as we know, is he's in prison too because of tax fraud, right? Like, I don't know if that's his money. So we'll see. I think it's Ross Elberg's. I'm here for the gains, bro. How about you build the tech and I make the gains? I like that partnership. That's a good partnership. Fast Abdul, what's going on, brother? It's good to see you here. So, guys, I'm going to get out of here. 209 you guys watching. Once again, 185 on Twitter, 24 on YouTube. Remember, guys, the capacity to surmount failure without being discouraged is the chief asset of every person who attains outstanding success in any calling. Let me repeat that again. The capacity to surmount failure without being discouraged is a chief asset of every person who attains outstanding success in any calling. That includes crypto, guys. That includes crypto. Keep your resolve. Learn from your mistakes. Keep pushing forward, and you will win at this game. Go out and create value in the real world. Create value to your community. Bring in more money from that value you created. Put it in crypto. 100x your life. And be the one in your family to change the trajectory of your family tree, to bring absolutely legacy wealth to your family tree, and you to be the one risk taker who went out there and paved a new path for generations to come. Guys, on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. Once again, DeFi Wealth Trust in the comments here. Book a call, it's free. The trust is free to set up. If you're interested in our private community too, let me know. Hit me up with a DM on Twitter. And I will see you guys maybe mañana. I don't know. Probably not tomorrow. We'll be out in Hanzhou tomorrow. So probably sometime next week. See you guys. Peace.